Welcome to another session of Let's Play Eternal Dagger. Now, my party had finished taking out the Necromancer. I went ahead and got to the first town of Green Bay and sold off a lot of items that I felt weren't very good. So, as you can see, and the reason the characters are tired is that I walked straight to Green Bay without any resting in between, because we will go ahead and look for items to buy, weapons primarily, weapons and defensive items. So this is what we got in our backpack. So the benefit of elven and dwarven on armor is that it is better than just like a ring or what have you, because rings just start out at like 30 defense. So as you can see with elven chain, that is already 2 extra improvements versus none. So that's something to keep in mind when you're thinking about armor versus items. So, and then this stuff where it's proof, it means that there's one damage type that it's really good against. So for example, the leather, 30 flame defense. So even at full enchantment, it'll give you, well, if it's plus 5, then you add 15, so that means 47. And you can get items up to plus 6 in this game by enchanting, but you're probably a bit better off by just keeping down. Well, this is really good item, like wizards. Wizards is always, regardless, worth improving to plus 6. So in regards to loot generation, it's always randomized, but in one of the multiple times that I've played this game, I do recall getting a wizard's crown in Eternal Dagger. So I doubt very seriously we'll repeat that particular item, but you never know. So I got an extra shield in the backpack, and as you can see, I went ahead and sold off a lot of stuff, including weapons, because we're going on to buy some other stuff. And I went ahead, I'm going to stick with this Drain-Proof Ruby. I know it takes up a shield slot, but this guy, he's in the back row up on the left hand side, so I'm not too sure. And that plus the fact that he's going to be using the giant slaying dwarf hammer, which is transferring, so any damage that he might take without the shield could be undone by any damage that he does by using the thrown weapon. So I already saved the game, so let's go and see what items there are to buy. So enchanters, we'll go S for select destination. We'll go and buy an item. Claymore, no. Silver does have an impact against werewolves, but there's a bow that we can buy in the third town that is a werewolf slaying bow, so that is more effective than silver. I think silver does extra damage, but slaying does 3 times the damage against those type of enemies. So no, we don't care about the claymore. Let's see here. We'll just go and rest up. Select, rest, exit, select, buy. Now this is a fairly tempting item in that it's got a lot of thrust damage, it's got an awesome sword bonus, and it even has a somewhat useful spell with unlock. But the problem with Venom is like it's poison. So poison, uh, it would affect an enemy, but poison damage takes a number of turns to accumulate. So it's not as beneficial as like a specific damage type. So no, we're not going to buy that. Exit. Let's rest again. Alright, so this is a flail. Cold damage, not really very beneficial, which is the primary reason I decided not to improve the flail skill, because there's another weapon that does do cold damage that I think is better than this one. So no, we don't care for that one. Rest. There are some good weapons here. It's just there it is, the cold spear. So yes, carry to B. Exit. Inspect B. Let's go on ready our weapon, our newly bought weapon. So with paralyzing, it has a percentage of, if it does damage, it could get that enemy out of combat, which means he can't attack, he can't defend, he can't do anything. So that's definitely beneficial. And let's go ahead and, I already bought something. We'll rest up. Select buy flaming broadsword. That's not too bad. Well, yes, carry for D. This is not too bad, but my goal is to get the +7 greatsword. That is, of course, it doesn't have any other damage except physical, but 28 cut versus, not 28 cut. That is a bit of a difference. So, all right, let's go ahead. Select exit. Select rest. Buy. Now this is a good item. The problem is that it's two-handed, but I'm going to buy it anyway. Yes, carry A. So transferring plus life drain. Life drain is definitely one of the more useful damage types. And probably the least resisted anyway. I know that was contradictory, so it's least resistant. I don't think there were many enemies that have a lot of resistance to it. I mean, trolls I can think of off the top of my head, but a lot of other enemies aren't resistant to life draining damage. But anyway, let's go ahead. We already bought something. Select rest. And there's one more item we can get here. Nope, that's not it. Buy. There it is. Yes. Carry for F. Alright, so now we'll go and ready that weapon. Alright, and since we got that, well actually let's go ahead and go to the docks. Select yes, yes. And we have arrived at our next destination, so we'll go ahead to the inn. Select Hotel Artel. Alright, now here I think there might be a few items to buy, but let me see here real quick. Select buy. Yes, that's probably the only item really worth buying. So yes, carry to B, if I'm not mistaken, is our guy. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and select tell our tale again. Exit. And let me go ahead. I'm going to save the final 2 towns for another recording session because I noticed that I'm getting close to the cutoff time. So let me go and stop here and I'll be back with you shortly.